The timer is on. Perfect.
Fabulous.
You can hear me okay and everything?
You're good.
Okay.
Me?
Perfect. So hello to everybody who may stumble upon this stream at some point. Happy 4th of July to our American friends. Sorry, that's not on our radar. I realize it will probably be kind of sparse tonight because of that. You guys are all busy watching fireworks and such. Very fun. But welcome. This is day 4 of Kimmy K's writing sprint collab. I'm calling it Kimmy K's because it was her brainchild and she made it happen. If you guys have been following along with that, that's amazing. You can also just go back and watch the awesome videos that they've been dropping all week if you've missed them. And there's another one tomorrow, all the way to the end of this week. Yes, Effie's here. Effie is one of our amazing authors that is going to be dropping a video later this week. So I think I put all of that in the description. If you guys want to check that out, do not forget to subscribe. Kimmy's here. Yay. Amazing. This is so exciting.
It is.
And this is Candace. So Candace is joining me again for a live stream because she's my moral support, which is amazing. I'm so glad that she could make it.
Me too.
Before we went live, Candace and I were talking about what we wanted to do for sprints. We're thinking a few longer ones. Josh, thank you for joining us. The Thursday streaming duo. Yes, exactly. Just on a Tuesday because we're mixing it up.
Yes.
So yes, I forget what I was saying. Right. How long we want to do it. So we were thinking of doing 2 or 3 half-hour sprints just so that we can actually get into it more. I struggle with short sprints because it takes me a long time to get going and then the timer goes off and I have to just find my rhythm all over again.
Same.
So if everyone's okay with half an hour, that is what we're going to start with, and we're going to try and just get right into it so you guys can start logging words. Is that okay with everybody? Yes.
Hopefully. It's good with me.
It's going to be. So we're just going to jump right into it. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Awesome.
first sprint done.
Nice. That went fast.
It did, actually. Was it successful for you?
It was pretty good. Yeah, I could get into things pretty well.
Nice.
How about
How
you?
did everybody do? Did we make progress? I guess I should answer Kimmy's question first because we should have got into this. What are we working on? Yeah, we're working on a draft. Candace, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'm still working on like my first novel that I ever started. And I'm just working on going back to the beginning and going through and like rewriting, changing a lot of stuff because I've just changed a lot of the plans for the whole story, and it needed changing anyway. So now it's just crucial that I go through and rewrite and add and edit a bunch of stuff.
Sweet. I am working on a prequel to my kind of big fantasy project that I've been doing for the past like 6 years or so. I'm kind of like in limbo on that project because I'm waiting for feedback to come back. So this summer I decided I was going to write the prequel. So that's why I'm working on.
I didn't know about
I
this.
knew. Sorry, I should have told you about this. I always knew that I was going to write it, but I just didn't plan to get to it so soon. But I realized that in order to work on my actual big project, I actually needed to figure out some stuff from the history in the past. So I think this will be helpful if I actually get through it, because otherwise it'll just, I don't know, become an endless project. It's already just growing into something way more than I expected it to be, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Ooh.
Whoa, Effie, nice. 1,500 words, girl, that's amazing.
Goodness. Amazing.
Thank you. What are you guys working on? Are people editing? Are they drafting? I'm assuming that Effie is drafting based on that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 1,500 words. I'm so jealous of your speed. Your efficiency is crazy.
Oh. I feel like it's so hard to track progress when I'm like going back, and like you've gone through editing before. Like this is my first kind of experience going back. And so I'm like, how do you even track progress? Like there are chunks that I'm writing, stuff that I'm adding, but I'm also thinking there's like random sentences and words that I'm like adding here and there. So I'm like, how do you track? Do you just like, this is the section I got through and that's how many words I technically edited? Like, do you count words or not?
I guess. How do people do that? Like if you're doing editing for Camp Nano, how do you record that? Like how do you track your goals? Has anyone ever done that?
Yeah. Because I don't know. Like I wrote, okay, here's like a, oopsies. There's like a paragraph that I wrote. So I could count that. But there's also just like random sentences and words that I like swapped out, added, deleted throughout the first part of the chapter. So I'm like, do I go through and like highlight each little like,
count every
5
word?
words, 10 words, 7 words? Have a whole map.
I mean, you could.
I could.
You could spend an entire sprint just doing that.
Seriously.
Kimmy asked, do we have placeholder titles? Do you have one?
Oh gosh, I don't think I do, actually. I think at one point I called the project like Journey to Remembering because it has a lot to do with like memory and like the past and stuff. So that wasn't like a placeholder title though, because I didn't like that as a title. That was just like, so I don't know, have a theme for the project.
Yeah.
So no.
Something to call your document.
Yeah.
That's not just like story.
Exactly. This is just, honestly, the document, because I have it in parts, it's just the 2 main characters' names.
That works. It'll hit you. It has to be the right title, because then that'll like inspire the rest of the work.
Yeah.
In answer to that question, I do, but I'm not in love with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm calling it Charmillis right now because that's like one of the names of the character that it's about, but it's not going to stay that. I have other ideas. We'll see how that goes.
Nice. So basically, when this writing sprint is finished, you are going to tell me all about this?
Okay. I can do that, Candace. Oh, nice. H.A. Pruitt. Finished typing your 4th book. Oh my gosh.
Good for you.
I have Water Falling, and I am planning to read it this summer. It's on my list. I'm excited about that. H.A. Pruitt, author of the Anothalion series. That's the 3rd book, right? Water Falling? Yes, it is. And I have all 3. and they're awesome. So go check that out, everybody. Effie Joe Stock is drafting, working on book 3.
Nice.
Drafting. Interesting. Can we unpack that? I'm just curious, like, why do you hate drafting? I don't hate writing, but I'm enjoying the drafting process more. So I'd just be curious to hear why you hate drafting. Just hanging with Sammy. Nice, Kimmy. I'm glad that you are here. Some people say use one page as one word. Oh, when you're tracking yeah, Candace is like, oh.
Nice.
Yeah, it's hard to make progress that way. Yes, it definitely is. I'm excited. It's gonna be good. I have to kind of do a refresher on earthquaking to remember like where the story left off so that I will not be just completely lost, but it's gonna be good. I'm excited. I'm doing a lot of reading this summer, guys, and I'm really pumped about it.
Nice.
All right. Is everyone feeling like that was a good length of time? I don't want to do a half an hour if that was like too much for people. But
I think it was perfect, honestly.
okay. Kimmy has a question real quick. I would like to know how you go about doing a second job. Do you mean draft, Kimmy? I'll put a pause on that and look at Effie's comment. Rewriting is when I really get to dive into the world building. Okay. Oh, and you don't have to think. That is so the opposite for me. Interesting. Rewriting is when I am thinking hardest and like just at my most perfectionistic and everything has to be just so. And yeah, drafting, I'm really enjoying drafting right now because I feel like I can just flow more and think less. So that's really wow. Yeah, no worries, Effie. Thank you for joining us. It was really fun to hear your wisdom and your experience of drafting. That just blows my mind. Interesting.
Yeah, enjoy your party.
Yeah. And Kimmy, if you mean draft, I need to like think about that question.
What's the question? I see it right now.
How do you go about doing a second draft? I think is what she's meaning. I have thoughts, I'm gonna yeah, draft. I need time to like collect them. So why don't we do another sprint first and then we can get into that after this next sprint. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I need to like stretch out my legs because otherwise they're gonna fall asleep. It's not gonna be.
Is Nala with you right now?
I don't know. She's upstairs. She would be a little bit too like chaotic, I feel like, because my Opa is over like doing some work in our one room.
Oh, okay.
So she'd be like back and forth barking.
I don't have Reggie either because she doesn't love me. That's okay. I'll console myself by writing for another hour. Okay, everybody, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
almost missed the timer. Sorry.
You got it.
I even checked the clock, like, pretty close to the end when it's like, "Okay, yep, minute left," and then completely forgot about it.
That's
That
okay.
was a good one for me.
That was
You feel
pretty
like it was productive?
Yeah.
I'm just doing a quick word count.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I had a crazy word count. I have to do a little bit of math because there's like multiple sections. Let's see. 5.
I'm sitting at around 1,300 words for the hour. So
Oh, okay. Well, wait. I don't know about for the hour. Forgot what I had seen. 25. Okay.
how about everyone else? Was that productive for people? Good amount of time? Did you get into it? The scene that I'm writing now is very emotional, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time capturing the feelings that I want to capture.
Same, honestly.
I kind of wish that I had put more time into planning it beforehand. I usually, when I'm writing a really significant conversation, I will do like a script, like just kind of bullet point style. Here are all the lines, here are all the points that need to be hit in this conversation so that I can just add the filler stuff when I go to write it, like action beats and stuff. But I didn't do that this time. I decided to just wing it. And now I kind of regret it.
Oh dear. I think I'm sitting about like 900 in total.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
So not bad. I feel like since I'm kind of jumping all over the place, like that's I'm happy with that so far.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. 900 words. If Effie were here, she'd probably be at like 50,000 already. But
Probably.
man, I wish I were that fast. Seriously.
Yeah.
But Kimmy, sorry, you are waiting for an answer. I wish I had like a great answer to give you, but I really like, I don't know, I'm not that experienced. But for me, let me just see, how did you phrase this question? How do you go about doing a second draft? For me, right now, I'm going into the third draft phase for one of my projects, and I'm trying to remember what I did with the second draft. I know that I sat on it for a really long time. You don't have to sit on it as long as I did, but even just like, I've heard that, is it 60 days?
I think
That's just like a good, healthy amount of time to sit on something and think about it and let things percolate before you try tackling a rewrite. I have made the mistake of rushing a lot with drafts where it's like, oh, I know what the problem is, rewrite. And then it's like, wait, that's not the problem. Oh, I know what the problem is, rewrite. And I've just been like really rammy about it in the past. And it's not an efficient way to write drafts because like it's just more helpful to let it sit and actually think through what are the things that need to be addressed, make lists. I would say that I'm just a list person in general, but I find that really helpful. Like lists of the minor things like, oh, I need to change the spelling of this name every time it's mentioned or whatever, those little things, but also the bigger things like I need to write this entire scene explaining this, or I need to change this world building detail, like having that in a list so that when you do your second draft, you have something to refer to and keep yourself on track. I don't know. I find that helpful, but I don't know about other people. If anyone has advice, please put it in the chat because again, I've only done this a couple times. And Candace, you're working on a second draft. Well, sort of like a half second draft, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really speak from experience though, because this is my first experience with kind of all of this. I'm still a new writer in the grand scheme of things. So I'm like happy to hear all the second draft advice you can give, because I am a little bit like you said you were at first, like jumpy into like writing things. I mean, I would say I did sit on this for a little while. I haven't finished it quite yet. I can't quite figure. I'm like near the end. I know I am, but the last chunk, I'm like a little bit unsure of how to finish. So I did sit on it for a while, work on a different project, and then decided to come back and start again and see if like clearing up some of the clarity issues, plot things and character things that I change if that would like help me with the ending maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will. I'm still like in the beginning chunk. So we'll see, but I don't know. I do definitely see what you were saying though about having to think more from your experience
Mhm.
because definitely writing the first run through, it is a lot more like, oh, I have these ideas and I want to get them onto the page and this is exciting and like I come
Yeah.
back and fix it later. But now I'm like, okay, now that I've done all this other planning, I've come back to fix these things. Obviously, I'll have to come back and fix things again, but I don't want to leave so much room for like, I'll fix it. Like, no, no, no. I want to fix it now.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. I find that balance difficult to find sometimes. I know when I was finishing my like big fantasy project that is now in the hands of beta readers, I got near the end and started realizing things that I really wanted to fix at the beginning. But you kind of have to pick and choose, like, because some things are just like, I'll fix this later. In the next draft, I will address this. And then one thing that my like author mentor has told me about, which makes sense to me, is when you're doing like a first draft, sometimes you just have to like make a note to change this thing in the past and go on as if you've already changed it. So that at least you're like in the right zone, you're mentally writing the story that you actually want to be writing instead of just like, no, I have to like continue on the trajectory that I was already on, even though you've already decided you're not going to stick with that,
Yeah.
you know? So that makes sense to me, but I don't like the messiness of it, of having like
I
a half and half draft.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it is frustrating.
The
Oh,
process.
totally.
It can be messy, that is for sure.
I was gonna ask if I can like, I don't know, whoever's on here or you if you have other ideas. There is one of my characters who is starting to actually be a bigger part of my story than I thought she would be. I thought she'd be more like background, like she served a purpose, but like not too relevant. But now I'm like, no, I think she needs to be more relevant. But I don't love her name. Well, I like the name, but I don't know if I love it for this character. So her name right now is Emily, but like it's spelled Emilie, kind of like Amelie, Emily. Like it's in Germany. This is where it's set, so it'd be pronounced more like Amelie. And I like that name. I didn't steal it from Scarlett's best friend.
From Scarlett, that's what I was thinking.
I came up with it completely separate, forgetting that that was her best friend's name as well. And then I think I reread the Lunar Chronicles, and I was like, "Come on, man!"
Oh, when that happens. Yeah, all good. It's a free name, like, it's not, like, that insanely
Yeah,
unique, you know, it's a real name.
true, exactly. But yeah, so it's not that I like dislike the name. It's just I don't know if I love it for this story for this character. So if you or anyone else has any other ideas, they can be like German sounding names, doesn't have to be. My story is somewhat futuristic, so it's not like all culturally German names. Like there's
Okay.
new names as well. And there's been, mingling throughout other European countries, so it could be other European names as well. But yeah, I don't know. Just I'm really open for anything.
Okay. Huh. I might have to, like, look up a list
Yeah.
of German-inspired names.
Fair.
But yeah, if anybody has suggestions. On the name note, I have been reading, the Winter Souls series, A Soul as Cold as Frost is the first one, which I've been seeing on Instagram a lot, so I got it from the library. I've been really loving it. It's indie, it's Canadian,
Ooh.
which is so exciting. It takes place in Waterloo.
What?
What? I
Oh my
know. So cool. So cool. But anyway, so that's been exciting. But it's really inspired me to write a Portal fantasy. So of course, because I didn't have enough projects on the go, I then started planning another one.
Nice.
And I have been so annoyed over the past like day or two trying to come up with names for my main characters. I have the characters in my head, but I don't have names, or I didn't, and that's really unusual for me because normally I build characters around the name.
Yeah.
So it just felt like, oh, terrible. I literally went to sleep last night thinking about it and woke up thinking about it.
Oh my goodness.
Like my first thought was, it was like, wow, this is how you know that you are just way too preoccupied with an idea. I have it now, and I'm keeping it
Okay.
secret because I really like it.
Okay.
But yeah, so success there. But names are important. I feel like when you're building a character, for me anyway, a name can be a huge part of like shaping who they are, what they look like, all of that.
Totally.
I don't know if other people feel that.
Yeah.
All right, Candace, how much do you have in the tank? Do you want to do another half hour? Should we do a shorter one?
Honestly, based on how quickly the other half hours have gone, I'm down to do another half hour.
Okay, me too.
Okay, fabulous.
Alrighty, let's do it. Good luck, everybody. I was losing by the end of that one. I don't know about you, Candace.
I was losing it at the beginning and
Oh, really?
have some stuff to wrap up now.
I feel like part of it is just fatigue,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also not exactly sure. I'm in that horrible situation where you don't know exactly how your scene is supposed to end. And so it's just like going on and you're like trying to find the sweet spot to cut it off. I'll get there.
Hate that. Yeah, it's tough. I was like starting kind of a new section. Not like a majorly new section, but like I don't know. It was just I didn't know how to get it started, and I was like sitting there like, what do I write? What do they say? Then
Uh,
I got going. Now I can just maybe another couple sentences, and I can wrap it up well enough.
oh, nice. Wow. Okay.
Not like the whole chapter. It's just like enough that then I can move on to the next section without feeling like I'm leaving something not done.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Rebecca, welcome, welcome. Sorry that you only caught the last sprint. That's too bad.
Too bad.
It's late up here. It's almost 9:30. So
Yes.
Kimmy says, "Oh, Kimmy, I didn't realize that you were responding to what I was saying about the emotional scene. Emotional music gets me in the mood to write emotional scenes." That is brilliant and so true. I should probably have done that. There is a song on the Kaladin album that I should have put on. I think it's called Hearthstone or Tien, either of those. Or are they the same song? I can't remember, but it's so emotional because the scene in the book that it coincides with is like heart-wrenching, and I cannot listen to that song without crying.
Oh.
So I should have put that on. Ah,
That's a good idea. Yeah.
my bad. Was it successful for everyone else? I hope it was. All told, I was starting fresh with a new scene. So like a new POV.
Okay.
I really didn't have anything written for it, so it was kind of a nice place to start a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like I was able to write 1,600 words in an hour and a half, which is like not as much as I would have liked, but
that's okay though.
it's okay. Yeah. It's not the kind of scene that moves very quickly because it is very emotional, and I'm still trying to kind of parse through what emotions he would be feeling in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a little bit tricky.
Yeah, no, I find that tricky too. Like, there's a lot of grief in the beginning of my
Oh, yeah.
and like, I mean, thank God, like, I have never gone through so much grief in my life, like, especially not such a serious, like, losing someone really close to you. And
Mhm.
I just don't know. Like, I can try to put myself in her shoes and, like, imagine what it's like, go based off of other things I've read or watched, but, like, I really do not know what it feels like, and so,
Yeah.
like, what would she be reacting, like, in this moment, depending on how much time has passed and the conversation she's having, triggers, memories, like, how does
Right.
all of this work? I really should I don't know, I should like research grief more. Like I learned a little bit about grief in my schooling, but not like enough to prepare me for this.
Yeah, it's a little bit different when you're actually trying to step into someone's shoes and
Yeah.
be so intimate and personal with what they're feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Like I can't just go, well, based on the 5 stages of grief, this is what
Yeah.
you'd be doing. Like, no.
Yeah. It's so different because it like writing, and especially, are you in first person
No,
or
I'm in
no?
third person.
Okay, but yeah, still, you have to understand
Yeah.
the depth of what they're feeling, and yeah, that's really tough.
Mhm. I don't know.
I just finished writing on a completely opposite end of the spectrum. The meet cute between my two characters that are going to end up together, and it was so fun because it was so volatile. Like, she just hates him with
No.
such a burning passion. It was hilarious to write. Yeah, and I'd had it in my head for so long, like this eventual scene that I was gonna get to someday down the line. So it was really fun to actually be there writing it, and she's just tearing a strip off him.
Love it.
And I loved it. It was fabulous to write. I'm sure I'll go back and read it later and be like, what was I thinking? But in the moment, it was fun.
No, that's good. Those are always so much fun to write. I feel like banter and like the scenes with like my two main love interests are always, well, I mean, okay, a lot of the scenes are of them because they're the two main characters, but like
Right.
especially those like banter, relationship building kind of scenes, they're just like so much fun to write. I'm like, this is not how my romance life has been, but it's just so much fun to write.
It's true. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that phase of it. Like, that was the first time they'd met, and it was on page, like, 160.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I wasn't expecting that. I had a whole chapter outline for this story, and it was, like, 30-something chapters, and I'm on chapter, like, 17, and we're 160 pages in. It's gonna be way more than 30 chapters. I'm just, like, hoping that it doesn't grow as big as the last one, because that was not the plan, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I have to kinda go with the flow, I guess.
Yes. How big are prequels usually?
I don't know, that's the thing. It's gonna be a trilogy, so I have lots of room
A
to
prequel
write, but there's
trilogy. Oh, okay.
a prequel trilogy, yeah, but there's just a lot that needs to be covered, and a lot of world building stuff that I, like, didn't really have to address in the original that now I have to have answers for. Like, I need to understand how these things work and stuff, and yeah, it's just becoming a lot. And my outline was only taking into account my main character, so I had the beats for my main character, his life, his inciting incident, his noble quest, all of that stuff. But then once I got into it, I realized that I have like 4 POV characters that all have inciting incidents, noble quests that like need to be addressed. And so I'm just now reaching the point where I've established all of that for each of the key characters. And now we can just move forward into gonna happen. Yeah, lots of stuff has happened. It's not like it's just been boring
No.
talking all the time, but just I don't even know how long the story is gonna end up being when I actually start getting into like the climax and like all the things that just need to go down. We'll see though.
That's exciting.
That'd be fun. Pardon?
That's exciting, I said. Just
It is
so much ahead of
exciting.
you.
It's daunting though.
But okay, that's fair.
Yeah. What's fun is that it's been a long time since I've actually drafted something that's totally fresh.
Mhm.
Like, 'cause for the past few years, I've been working on the same one project for like, 6 or 7 years.
Mm.
So it's really fun to be like writing something in that world, but that I've never written before. And it's just totally new. And I'm like meeting these people for the first time and going back to when they were young. And I don't know, I'm having so much fun with it. And that's keeping me going.
I'm so glad. That does sound like a lot of fun.
It has its ups and downs, obviously. Maybe I'll run out of steam soon, but for now, I'm trying to ride out that motivation.
Yeah.
It's been really fun to meet characters and like let them show themselves to me, if that makes any sense. 'Cause I thought I understood them, but there are some that I really didn't. And the more you write them and get into their shoes, the more like you find out about them. And that's been really great.
That is cool. Wow. Aw.
Well,
Exciting stuff.
that was our last sprint.
It was.
We did it, guys. This has been really fun. Wow, we're going on 2 hours. Okay.
Really? Wow.
Yikes.
It's been a good 2 hours. Also,
It has been a good 2 hours. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in to join us. I hope that this was productive for you, that you're able to get stuff done. Happy 4th of July to our American friends. I hope that you were still able to celebrate and that, you didn't skip out on fireworks just to write with us. But we're so glad that you were here. And do not forget to check out the description below and check out all the other channels that are part of this Writing Sprint collab for this first week of July, because they're really fun channels. It's been really amazing to kind of get to know these people more that I've been dealing with for a while, but I had never sprinted with them before. So it's been a really fun week, and there's more to come. So be sure to subscribe to all those channels so you don't miss out on that. And with that, without further ado, we're gonna say goodnight. Thank you again, everybody, and see ya.
Thank you. Bye.